Welcome to BaseballGuys.com. I'm your host on Around the Horn, Ray Flowers. Terrible news if you're a baseball fan, terrible news if you're a Giants fan, and certainly terrible news if you're an owner of Buster Posey. He was run over by Scott Cousins last night, and what we're hearing, it's not good news. Now, before I get to that, Cousins was well within his right to do what he did. I don't think it was a dirty play at all. It's the game of baseball. Maybe Major League Baseball should look into doing something about it, but for what happened last night, don't have a problem with Cousins and what he did. However, going to Posey, bad news here. He's got a cast on. He's already been placed on the disabled list. Reports are that there could also be ligament damage in that knee. If that's the case, we're probably looking at him missing the rest of the season. We'll have to keep our fingers crossed that we don't get that news, that it's something more minor and he's only out weeks instead of months. If you're looking to pick up someone at the catcher position, go to baseballguys.com, scroll down below this video and look at Behind the Dish. I gave some options of catchers that might be on waivers to help tide you over, or perhaps go with you the rest of the way if Posey is out. Now, the Giants had to make all kinds of moves. Darren Ford on the disabled list, Buster Posey on the disabled list, Mike Fontenot on the disabled list. Here's the upshot of everything. Brandon Belt has been recalled. I can't understand why the Giants would recall him if they weren't planning on playing him every day. Kind of have a hard time seeing how that's going to work out at the moment. But Belt has been recalled. Deep mixed leagues, obviously a must-add. And only leagues, you've probably been holding on to him all along. So obviously look forward to getting him back in the lineup. And then Brandon Crawford has been called up from single A. Young guy, number 6 rated prospect in the organization according to Baseball America. He's apparently going to get a chance to play some shortstop. Miguel Tejada's playing third base right now with Pablo Sandoval out. Giants making a lot of changes. Crawford, an only option, not a mixed league option. Still, that bat lags behind the glove. Howie Kendrick, onto the disabled list. What a shock. He's got an issue with his leg. The DL stint is being backdated, so he'll return a little bit sooner than we would normally think with the 15-day stint, since he's already got a couple of days down there. Hitting .322 with 7 home runs. And this is a big loss to fantasy owners because Kendrick was being, quite frankly, a spectacular performer at second base. He was on pace to hit .320 with 25 home runs, 75 RBIs, 100 runs, 15 steals. Numbers you just don't see in baseball very frequently, and you very rarely see up the middle. Kendrick's always an injury risk. Hopefully this is the one time of the year he gets injured and he's healthy the rest of the way. Have to keep your fingers crossed to get back, Howie Kendrick. Brandon League, total unmitigated disaster. 4 losses, blown saves, had one of the worst weeks of pitching in the history of baseball. But since then he's turned it all around. 4 straight outings, he hasn't given up a run. In fact, in his last 4 outings, he hasn't given up a single hit. While he's gone 3 for 3 in the save category, all of a sudden, League, who you were really nervous about 10 days ago, looks like the top 15 closer that he was prior to that 1-week blow-up. Continue to have faith in him. Just a bad, horrible week that he went through. Andrew Bailey, another closer, close to returning to the Athletics. We don't have a return date yet. He's going to throw another outing in the minors on Friday. Have to think that he's up at worst by early next week. Grant Balfour should continue to get the save opportunities for the moment with Brian Fuentes' struggles and the issues he's had with his manager. I don't know how quickly Bailey will be put into that closer's role, but I'd have to think within a couple of weeks at most we would see Bailey, barring a setback, as the closer for the Oakland Athletics. How fair is it to judge pitchers on the win-loss record? Let me just give you one bit of information here. John Danks, 0 victories. Wilson Valdez, the infielder, 1 victory. Valdez pitched in the 9th inning last night when the Phillies emerged victorious. He actually hit 90 miles an hour on the gun and showed some movement on his fastball, which is pretty surprising. But it just goes to show you a player forced to pitch in a game because of an outlandish score actually has more wins than a solid major league pitcher like John Danks. Just another reason why I don't put much stock in win-loss records in terms of fantasy players. And then finally, Grady Sizemore, close to returning. He's running sprints. Hope from the Indian side is that he will be back on the field and ready to go on Friday. Get him back in your lineup if you got him. He's had a hot stick whenever he's been out there. Continue to watch whether he runs. He hasn't been doing that at all. And without the ability to steal bases, 280, 20 home run type of bat, it's useful in mixed leagues, but it's not a difference-making situation for an outfielder. I'm Ray Flowers, BaseballGuys.com. Thanks for joining me on Around the Horn, and I will talk to you all again soon.